How's up, y'all? It's poppin'. It's D. Happy New Year, y'all. I'm excited to be back and recording videos. We're going to start with this playback vid. It's called Logan Paul Takes Zero Accountability. I have heard something about this. Apparently, he's scamming people with crypto or something like that. That is totally wrong to do, for sure. But at the same time, I don't know how y'all keep getting scammed with crypto. Why are you trusting these random niggas online telling you to buy some crypto? They don't know what they talking about. Why would you do this? From him to Kim Kardashian to Speed, why would you trust what they have to say and give them your hard-earned money? They are not the face of crypto. Get you some Bitcoin and Ethereum and call it a day. Like I don't get how people are still getting scammed with crypto nowadays. But sure, let's see what's going on. Let's watch.
Logan Paul, scammer, allegations.
Let's get right into it. Real shit though, he dropped his cryptos in response. He came out with this new token, coin, where it's like you get an egg and then you can hatch the egg and it's a big NFT. He was really excited about this. This was off the back of his 99 Originals project, which was actually really dope. Logan Paul building some momentum, repairing his reputation after the whole Forest situation from a few years back, and then this happens. CoffeeZilla drops a 3-part series, basically documenting a whole bunch of details about how he was alleging that the CryptoZoo thing was a scam because one, it didn't work, and then he was basically
insinuating
that it was really shady,
that it was shady,
and borderline fraudulent.
No, this is a scam. He
was a scam.
CoffeeZilla, a YouTuber who does a lot of investigation on a lot of scams, especially in the financial sector. He made a 3-part documentary insinuating that Logan Paul, if not directly, indirectly, was preparing to scam his audience with this project that he had to send out there. In the 3-part documentary, there's a lot of allegations that was set in stone.
Yeah.
And so Logan finally made a response to that, and just briefly, hit on a couple of notes. So the first thing I noticed that Logan Paul really didn't apologize for really anything.
And lastly, CoffeeZilla. I now know your motives with this. Clout and money, good for you, but also you're slimiest. So I'm not going to come on any of your podcasts. If you want to come on Impulsive and talk about this, that's fine. You've denied my invitation multiple times. You're still invited. It can be a one-on-one. If not, we're going to handle this ourselves while we continue to build CryptoZoo, and I'll see you in court.
Some would argue it's probably the worst response imaginable. Now, some people would also argue
that it could be worse.
It could be worse?
You haven't seen worse apologies on YouTube?
Yeah, because
I've seen worse apologies. So it could be worse. It could be, but it was bad.
It was a bad, and the reason why it was bad is because it came across as if
these niggas just woke up.
Apologizing. Some of the reason why he said he
got that just woke up
is because of the people in which CoffeeZilla was interviewing within the 3-part documentary. In this 3-part documentary, CoffeeZilla was interviewing people who were a part of the project on the back end.
Coffee, you interviewed the developer who stole the game code, fled to Switzerland, and held it hostage for $1 million. Well, his name is Zach Kelling. Surely, as the internet detective that you proclaim to be, you would know that he spent time in prison for multiple felonies, one for aggravated robbery, armed robbery at a liquor store, and the other for, surprise, obstructing the legal process. I can see why you kept him anonymous.
Who will be calling Z here.
I guess among many things, it doesn't surprise me that he lied about having 30 engineers and a $50,000 a week burn rate.
On my end, I have 30 engineers. I'm burning $50,000 a week.
Which, side note, is how this delusionist landed on the $1 million code ransom, but it turns out he only had 3 engineers. Wouldn't someone with journalistic integrity know their credible source had not only an agenda, but a fondness for orange jumpsuits? Or did you just hear what you wanted to hear and move on? Because even if you're lying to yourself, Steven, you still have to believe it. And I know what you're thinking. What type of idiot would work with an unsavory individual like Zach Kelling? I guess that's what I get for trusting the team that I relied on to vet and manage Eddie's hiring process, who has turned out to be a professional conman that I have since learned fooled billionaires, the Mormon Church, the owner of the New York Yankees, and now me.
So if you didn't watch the whole 3-part series, there was a few allegations that were made. So there was a whole bunch of text exchanges that were shown, basically showing that off the jump, the intention was to make money. But Logan Paul says the intention was to do, he had this vision and he really wanted to see it through, but the text is showing that money was a big priority. In all honesty, Logan could have just kept it a buck and said, well, this is a project. I'm investing millions of dollars into this, or hundreds of thousands of dollars. I want to make a kickback on this. Yeah. And everyone would have said, well, that's understandable. But Logan is pretending as though money was not the motive at all, even though the text exchange that CoffeeZilla shows that money was most definitely a priority, even if Logan's saying it wasn't. That's the first thing. The second thing is there's stages to the NFT stuff, and it's so ripe with fucking corruption that, like, there's lots of bad actors in this space. But what Logan and them was trying to do was undoubtedly shady. They were trying to pre-sell some shit that didn't even work yet, basically off the promise that Logan Paul is going to deliver because his last project did well. The only thing is they didn't want to deal with all the SEC guidelines, violations, investigations, and things of that nature. So they went through like 16 different loopholes to be able to pre-sell this thing. And every bit of the exchange, when you go through the CoffeeZilla 3-part documentary, shows that they were most definitely interested in not only maintaining full control, but making money. But the thing is they immediately lost control because the advisor they had on board they trusted, he sold, and the lead developer not only sold, but that nigga ran off with the code because he said that Logan wasn't paying him. So it's
now, let's pause there for a second. I want to stop and acknowledge something. Because also Logan, this is after, we actually making this right after he dropped the Impulsive podcast. So he gave us a little bit more details. And to be fair to Logan, is there a possibility that he bit off more than he could chew?
Yes, 100%.
I'm saying it as a fat man. So yes, there's a possibility that he bit off way more than he could chew. And he was out there making very bold claims of a project that he probably was not going to be able to fulfill because he wasn't that.
Well, he needs to say that because he don't have that vibe in this apology video based on what I'm seeing. Obviously, I didn't see the whole thing, but it's not giving apologetic whatsoever. He's not owning up to, you know, his wrongdoing. He's like blaming other people. Like, oh well, I trusted my team to. Okay, well that's on you, buddy. You picked the wrong team, so this is ultimately your fault. We don't know your team, so the blame is going to be on you. So own up to that. And he didn't seem like he was doing that.
Acknowledge that in the Impulsive podcast as well. So to be fair to Logan, that you know, to be fair, there's a possibility that he just was in over his head. However, you still have to take some form of accountability in that because you're making very broad and bold statements to a bunch of people who are committing hundreds upon thousands, if not more money to your project,
because
and you're making
you.
these claims without thoroughly understanding everything that is involved with it. So you start to take accountability in those regards, but there's a possibility it was just more than he could chew. So that to be fair to Logan, there's that. The text messages, like you said, are damning. And for whatever reason, in the Impulsive podcast, as well as in the original 5-6 minute video that he responded with, he just refuses to. He doesn't even say anything about that. And I agree with you. He could easily just say, hey, those text messages seem bad, but at the end of the day, I'm invested into a project that I do believe I deserve some form of income or kickback or some type of return on my investment, and this is probably the best way to do it without sitting here and pulling mad money out all at once. So he could have said that, but he keeps ignoring it, so it makes him look really bad.
But the most important thing out of all of this is really the people that lost money, but when it comes to the drama here, is that Logan and his manager did not sell. Now, granted, them deciding to sell, making $5 million, this, that, the third, is not worth tarnishing Logan's entire reputation. I'm sure he could just fucking wake up, take a deal, and make $5 million. So I believe him when he says he had a vision for some shit he wanted to see out, and I'm sure that vision came with $100 million, right?
Yes.
But my takeaway after seeing all of this about that Impulsive episode, Logan's response, the CoffeeZilla series, and whatever fuck else comes out in the future, who knows? But what we know right now is that Logan is getting a whole lot of flack when he seems to be getting fucked over as well. Now look, Logan has a very historic run of just negative press. And so it's very easy to fucking elbow hang from the free throw line, dunk on this nigga, especially when you look at the text message, you're like, here Logan goes again, scamming niggas once again. Every time my brain kept thinking like, well, the niggas pre-order video games. And nobody has a problem with that, but like, there's seed rounds, series A, B, C's in the businesses that we all use.
Yeah, I was actually going to comment on this. I'm not familiar with this crypto zoo shit at all, but when they made the comment that, it's based on potential and they're taking, pre-sales and money from people before it's even developed, that's actually pretty common within like the crypto gaming space, because I'm heavily invested in crypto gaming, and a lot of those projects, they aren't even ready yet. They're not even finished. And even the ones that do have working games, like they're in the very early stages and the games are like trash and they're not like properly developed at all. So that actually is pretty common, but I don't know all of the details, involving this. They're saying that it came across very scammy and they saw the text messages and things like that. So there is more to this story that I am not privy to, but just based on that alone, I don't think that's scammy at all, because that is very, very common within crypto gaming. And then he just made the point that, people pay in advance for games that haven't even come out yet. So that's also common. But again, there seems to be more to this story.
Nobody says anything about those. So, like, people participate in lots of businesses that sell you something before you even get a chance to experience it.
Yeah.
And Logan's saying that the game is, whatever the fuck he's making is still in development. You could run around and say all Logan's doing is PR, the reason he didn't sell was PR, all this is PR. But in all reality, the nigga did not sell. He did not make bread off this fucking project. He got fucked by the developer. That's objectively true. He got fucked by his advisor. That's objectively true. The only thing Logan can get slandered for here is he gassed up a project that doesn't have no fucking legs yet. The shit does not work. He does not have the code, and we don't know what the fuck the roadmap looks like because that was all he...
And people only invested in it because of him. He's the face of it. So, yeah, it's not a legitimate excuse to be like, well, I got scammed too, so, you know, don't look at me. Like, no, we're going to look at you because you're the one who told me to invest in this fucking project. You somebody who I know, you know, so I'm trying to support you or whatever the fuck. So you can't be like, well, I got scammed too, so there's that. Like, no.
He's fucking legal. So,
yeah, that's another thing.
So now he can't speak on shit because of all these legal reasons.
So let's go back.
But the crypto zoo niggas want to know what the fuck is going on with the project.
So what we end up having is that the reason why Logan went, I don't want to say ghost, but the reason why he went mute on the whole subject matter is because once a lot of more things were being revealed to him behind the scenes, or at least this is what he's claiming, legally he could not make any statements publicly because they were trying to deal with things on the back end.
As you can imagine, I was not cleared from legal to discuss much of this, including the legal process being undertaken and the criminal investigations going on during the fallout, but I do appreciate you calling out that rats under my nose stole the game code, millions of dollars, and left Jeff and I abandoned with no team and knives in our back.
So what it seems as if, like, hey, CoffeeZilla is hitting this 3-part series and Logan hadn't said anything, so it looks even worse, but there is a very realistic possibility that he was already dealing with this behind the scenes and legally he couldn't say anything because of all the bad actors and then going through the legal system through that. So that's also fair. The thing that I want to just hone in also to Logan, because this part was also, Logan just keeps like hammering this down. You never try to talk to me. You never.
I hate when people say
shit. And I personally do not believe that CoffeeZilla's only attempt to talk to Logan was on December 24th, Christmas Eve, the way that Logan is trying to make it seem like. He just sat there and said, well, he claimed that he tried to get to his manager twice. And then Logan saying, well, you didn't try to directly get to me. However, CoffeeZilla on Twitter literally showed receipts of him trying to get in contact with Logan.
Yes, receipts.
So, and I'm not saying that Logan ignored him because he didn't say that he read it or anything like that. But the reality is, where you're Logan Paul, bro, it may be difficult to get in contact with you. So if I've tried through DMs, the next best way I would assume the most professional way is to get you through your manager, and he didn't respond. So again, to sit there and to say that I didn't attempt to, or to make it seem as if like I wasn't trying to get in contact with you, it seems like something you need to take up with your manager. I could have defended myself. You didn't give me the opportunity to do so, but to make it seem like he never attempted to try to directly contact you, I think is a bit, especially if he keeps sitting there saying, ooh, CoffeeZilla, he's real good at just manipulating the info. Like, come on, bro. Like, to act like he never attempted to try to get in contact with you is crazy. And because of that, I actually do believe Logan would have been in a much better situation if he talked to Coffee. Now they're going back and forth with this. Well, I send you this invite, then you send me this invite. Yeah. No, I'm not going to come over there. How about we do a live stream? And everybody just having a dick, who dick is bigger contest right now.
I think Logan fucked up here, and Coffee's familiar with criticizing people who fuck up a lot, and Logan's one of those targets, because Logan does have fuck up. And so, I think the mistake Coffee made in all this is calling it a scam. It's not a scam yet. Because if the thing is still in development, then we don't know. If this shit never comes out and a whole bunch of people sank thousands of dollars into this thing and they got rug pulled by the lead developer and the advisor because they all decided...
It looks like we're headed towards a scam, though. What are we talking about? He said the whole team jumped ship. And they sold... This is giving scam. What do you mean?
To sell as soon as they could, then yeah, that's borderline, if not straight up scam. As it stands right now, unless Logan is lying to us about the roadmap or how much he's committed to this crypto zoo situation, it is not a scam yet. It is just in development. And so you could say what you want.
But they in shambles.
I don't think the lead development in was it the other two? I think they definitely scammed.
They rug pulled.
They definitely scammed.
Logan and was the ones holding the fucking thing. So they got fucked over by the lead developer. Lead developer is saying he wasn't paid, but the lead developer is also a fucking criminal, so I don't know what to think about that nigga. Yeah. So, Logan, you can't hire a whole bunch of criminals, not do background checks to a project you care about, and you know that
because... And they put millions of dollars into it as well. well. Like, come on.
In your Impulsive episode, you said that your last project, the 99 Originals, did so well because the developers behind it did a fantastic job. So you know when you have a great team behind a project, you're passionate about, good things happen. So you being lackadaisical about who the fuck you picking up for this project and then getting fucked over and pretending like you had no idea. Like, how did CoffeeZilla find out? Well, he did research. And so why does CoffeeZilla give more fuck about your project than you do? You can call him a clout chaser and shit all you want, but that nigga, Logan admitted in the Impulsive episode that he discovered shit about his own fucking project
he didn't even
through
know
CoffeeZilla.
about, which is crazy.
So you need to be doing more research off the ripper. So if you're not going to take responsibility for all of it, you at least have to take responsibility for the fact that you didn't vet the people that was part of this project as well as you should have. You probably got really excited when niggas was throwing around numbers like in that CoffeeZilla episode through the text. They were like 60 million, 100 million, this, that, third.
Yeah.
And he's thinking like, yo, fuck a few million. This project's getting, I'm passionate about it and about to make fucking a lot of M's.
Logan just needs to be held accountable to the extent of hiring them and making sure he comes through with his promises. That's really it. Until then, we can't really know, which is the reason why we kind of held off on this, because after I agree, after I watched CoffeeZilla stuff, I was like, yeah, Logan didn't really sell yet. Yet, there's a possibility he will. Who knows? But he is not sold yet. And I agree. Logan makes way too much money for me to believe that he's willing to just throw everything away for like a couple of million.
Right,
that may sound a lot to y'all. It sound a lot to me too. I ain't going on with y'all, man. It sound like a lot. But to Logan, he's not about to sit here and jeopardize everything for a few M's.
He won't.
He's not going to do that.
100%.
But yo, let us know your thoughts.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense when he obviously is going to make that in times, who knows, 100, who knows, during the duration of his career. So why would he jeopardize that just for that quick money grab when he would make more, you know, during his career? That doesn't make any sense. So I don't think it was intentional, but it's giving scams so far because the people have been scammed. You promise them shit and it doesn't seem like you're delivering. Even though it's being developed, shit seems to be in shambles behind the scenes. This is what I'm gathering. Mind you, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about because I did not watch these CoffeeZilla videos. I didn't watch the Impulsive podcast episode or anything like that. I'm just going based on what I saw in this video. That's it. But I just know personally, I'm not getting behind a project or investing my money into some shit that some random ass influencer is talking about online. I don't care how big they are. I'm not doing that. I don't trust you. I don't know what the fuck is going on with this team. No, I'm investing in the top coins. Okay? That's on CoinMarketCap. Go to CoinMarketCap, go to Coinbase, all these websites and see what the top dogs are. Those are the top projects that you can invest in. You don't need to invest in these random shits that people are coming out with. Cryptos, what the fuck is that? I ain't never heard of that. I'm not investing nothing into that. I don't get it. But, sure, whatever. It's y'all money. Do what you want. But I wouldn't trust it. But, yeah, it is very possible that Logan Paul had good intentions and he thought that this was just going to be successful and great and all of that. And it's just looking like it's going downhill. But he may be able to save it. Like Agent said, it's not a scam yet. So he may be able to save it and, get new developers and turn it around. That's a possibility. Anything's possible. But I wouldn't hold my breath. I don't know. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all thought, though. Let me know what other videos you want to watch, and I'll see y'all the next time. Bye!